Hey, everybody. You have tuned in to another episode of The Checkpoint. Episode 2. Red Dead Redemption is real. We're going to talk about it. It's now the most anticipated sequel, maybe of all time. So with that, we're going to talk about sequels. With me, Mike.
One Way Sapanich.
And I'm Ryan, the Rugged Nerd Marshall. Our favorite sequels. Mike, go ahead. Start us off. What's your favorite sequel?
Man, I had so much trouble with this. There are a lot of good sequels. And when we talk sequels, I'm talking number 2. I'm not talking number 3 or number 11. Like, Final Fantasy 15 doesn't count.
Right.
In my book. Awesome. You can do whatever you want. You know, it's your show over there.
I went with the 2. I went with the 2 as well.
Okay. Good. So... Good. I'm glad you did. That warms my heart.
Yeah.
So I'm going to run through a couple first that I glossed over. Diablo 2.
Your honorable mentions?
It is. Diablo 2, Uncharted 2, Assassin's Creed 2, and Portal 2 were ones that I really wanted to pick.
Assassin's Creed 2 is incredible.
I settled on, and this directly relates to last week. Suikoden is my favorite, series of all time. Suikoden 2 is my favorite sequel of all time. It's just a great game. They're both good games. I think the first one's a lot better, and I think that's the case for a lot of these games that I picked. Just a lot of the games that you can go through. There's hundreds of sequels, but I don't know. It's got so much depth. Like I said last week, it's got so much depth. It's got so much to the story. There's so many characters. There's so much to do. There's so much different strategy. Just talking about, I really want to go play it.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't have access to play it, but
I want to really play it. I fucking can't.
I know. It's terrible. But yeah, man, I have to go just with the old faithful.
That's what I call my dick.
Yeah. That's huge.
Already.
Everybody's got names, man.
Yeah.
Old Faithful's a new one. You should get a tattoo.
Yeah. It's also only active once a year.
What?
Old Faithful.
All right. That was... Speaking of sequels.
But we'll get into that. Anyway, Suikoden 2.
What's yours? Speaking of sequels. What's yours?
So, alright. My favorite sequel, and I've probably even mentioned this before, this isn't a big secret, but Mass Effect 2 is my favorite sequel of all time. I mean, it's a fucking masterpiece. It's fucking incredible. It's and I'm a little biased just because I'm such a, obviously I'm a big Star Wars fan, which I've said before on past shows. And it's basically a space opera, which is a lot of what Star Wars is. It's this, you take your character through these 3 games, all these decisions, that you make matter. Mm-hmm. Characters can live, characters can die. It's fucking insanity.
Yeah. I almost chose it.
And it's so strange because one, it's so I got one the day it fucking came out, and I was hate it, didn't like it, traded it. And then, I don't know, 2 was coming out, and I knew that you could take your character through all 3 games. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try this again. I don't want to just play 2. I want my character to go through all 3. So I played 1, and then all of a sudden I just, fell in love with it. Maybe it just all clicked. And then 2 came out, and dude, Mass Effect 2 is one of the few games. Batman Arkham Asylum is another one where I literally played it, beat it, and then immediately started it back over and beat it again. Back to back. Played it, beat it, played it, beat it. I just fucking love that game. The ending of that game is fucking incredible. I mean, you're sitting there, this is spoilers, but if you haven't played it by now,
it's 10 years old.
If you haven't played it by now, that's fucking on you. But you're in that ending, and there's the suicide mission. You're just you find your fucking ship, and if you don't have all the upgrades, you're gonna get shot the fuck down, and people are gonna fucking die. Got all the upgrades, you're just gonna power through, and you get inside the enemy base, and you're making all these decisions, and if you fuck up, someone's gonna die, but if you don't, you're gonna make it through. That's why it's called the suicide mission. It's incredible. I absolutely loved it. It's one of the greatest video games of all time. My absolute favorite sequel. I guess I should mention some honorable mentions too. It's not a 2, but Metal Gear Solid 3. Another one of my favorite video games of all time. Another sequel.
That's my favorite Metal Gear, actually.
Yeah, it's my favorite Metal Gear. I'm hot and cold. Sometimes Metal Gear Solid is my favorite. Sometimes Metal Gear Solid 3 is my favorite. Metal Gear Solid 2 is by far my least favorite. Not because of Raiden. I just didn't really like it. 4 is awesome. 5.
It's because of Raiden.
5, I just like. I don't know what the hell happened with 5, man. It just like didn't click with me.
I didn't even play it.
It's like, I fell in love with Metal Gear Solid for the story, right? Like, I'm a big story guy. That's why, like, I have praise for Mafia 3, even though it's, kind of, it's getting mixed reviews. And it's just like, there's just not enough, especially for somebody like me. Like, I'm a completionist, so I like to fucking play games. Like, I like to do the side missions. I like to do, the extra missions. I like to, I take my time in those single-player missions. And it's like, if you really start, especially the side missions, if you really start tackling side missions in Metal Gear Solid 5, it's like, you'll go like 4 or 5 hours before you see cutscene, which is just like way too much. I mean, the gameplay's fine, like it was good, but it just did not click with me. It was too much of a difference, from what I think the past, the old past Metal Gear games are so linear, and I don't know, it's kind of a tangent. We're talking about Metal Gear, but 5 just didn't click with me. But to wrangle it back in, Mass Effect 2, favorite sequel of all time. Again, one of my favorite games of all time. I love the space I love the space drama of it all. Suikoden 2 and Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect 2 was on my list. I actually didn't say it because I knew that it would at least be one of your honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to pick it, but I'm surprised you didn't say KOTOR 2.
So,
or at least you didn't bring it up, yet.
So all right, so KOTOR is my favorite game of all time.
Right.
Actually, it's the game we're going to talk about today, and KOTOR are my two. Like they're very Red Dead. We're going to talk about Red Dead. Red Dead's up there too. That's very close to the tip top of my favorite games. But the first one is a masterpiece. It was made by BioWare, who coincidentally also made Mass Effect 2. And it was great. I love Star Wars, and it was literally, you create a character. Me being me, I created myself. Obviously, made myself a Jedi. It was everything I ever wanted out of a video game. This 20 to 30 hour story of just RPG greatness. And what made it so cool is like you're not just a Jedi, right? Like you start off, you're sort of force sensitive. Well, you start off, you're kind of normal. Your blaster, your vibro blade. You find out you're like a little force sensitive, and then like halfway through the game, you become a Jedi. You create your lightsaber, and then that's it. You're a Jedi the rest of the game. It's awesome.
Yeah.
KOTOR 2 was actually developed by Obsidian, who was kind of hot and cold as far as games. Like they did Fallout New Vegas, which has a great, huge following. Then they also did what the hell did they just do that was recent? Obsidian. Executive Bruce is going to check it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, while I was looking at it, so like KOTOR 2 came out, and don't get me wrong, like the gameplay was there, like as far as like the actual like the the day-to-day gameplay, but it was rushed into development. It was rushed to be finished, and the ending was just kind of. That's right. Oh, and Alpha Protocol. That's fucking right, dude. So let me tell you about Obsidian. So they made KOTOR 2, which isn't certainly not a bad game. It's totally like fine, like, but the ending was rushed. So it's like the ending was just like you talk to Kreia, like not even like one of your like main companions, and she's just like, yeah, fucking game's over, forced right, and then it's over. But then they made fucking New Vegas, which again like is really, really great, has like this pretty cool following. Yeah, but then they fucking made Alpha Protocol, and if any of you guys have ever watched fucking any of these, you know how I fucking feel about Alpha Protocol. I beat it though. I fucking beat it. But then they also made South Park Stick of Truth, which is fucking awesome.
That's what I just saw.
Fucking awesome game. So it's like, I don't know, maybe like a bipolar boyfriend or girlfriend that's like, I fucking love you, and then she's like, I fucking hate you, and it's just like that's what Obsidian is. Oh, they also made Wasteland. Wasteland's not that bad. Anyway, that's my favorite sequel. That's your favorite sequel. Any last words?
Choices.
Any last words on this?
I think you could choose almost anything. There's
Assassin's Creed 2 is a good choice, though. That's definitely on me for.
Well, and I picked that for story reasons, like.
Ezio, best
the continuation of the story, like it's actually a little weird that that Suikoden is my favorite sequel, just because I really like the gameplay and like that's my favorite sequel more for gameplay. It's not so much the continuation of story,
Right.
because there really isn't that that really isn't there like it is in these other games.
Right.
But yeah, Uncharted, Assassin's Creed, even Portal to some extent, has a continuation.
They're watching it right now, by the way. He has an Assassin's Creed 2 video playing.
It was so good. I haven't played like 3 or 4 or anything like that, and I need to.
Oh man,
but
3. So here's my Assassin's Creed overlay. So Assassin's Creed 2 is I think Brotherhood is actually my favorite Assassin's Creed game. Assassin's Creed 2 is what led to Brotherhood. Ezio is my favorite assassin, but I think Assassin's Creed 3 actually is the best combat in the series, and Assassin's Creed 4 is maybe the most fun, but it's also the least like an Assassin's game. It's just like more of a pirate game, which is why I think it's the most fun. But Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, man, that was like the peak of my Assassin's Creed experience.
I agree.
But see, but the thing is, I didn't really like Revelations all that. I didn't dislike it. I guess maybe at that time I was just kind of burnt out on Ezio and the whole trilogy. Not like as silly as that.
There's been a lot of Assassin's Creed games in 10 years.
And then I was kind of feeling the burnout then, and they still made 10 more after that. Anyway,
just kept doing it.
Let's move on. Those are our sequels. We're gonna talk about speaking of sequels, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Who knew?
Announced.
Why would we open with sequels if there wasn't a huge sequel that was just announced?
Yeah, it was announced today. Well, it was officially announced today, although they've been teasing it for the last couple days.
Yeah.
They are going to. There's a trailer that is going to be dropping on Thursday, and then the game is slated for a fall 2017 release. Which, if I know Rockstar, will come out fall 2017. We don't have to really get into the original game. It's a fucking masterpiece. Again, one of my favorite games of all time. The story is incredible. It's gorgeous. Yeah, exactly. You're looking at it right now. It's wonderful.
Interesting. I do want to comment on that a little bit. In that, it's not that I think it's not a bad game. I haven't played it, so I can't say that it's a bad game. I think that would be ill-advised to give an opinion about a game I've never played. But I remember when that game came out, and I worked at GameStop still. And this is a small, part of the gaming community that you see at a single GameStop. But I feel like a lot of people were like, yeah, it was cool. It was open world. You got to do a lot of cool stuff. But it was all right. So I almost feel like it's built a greater like
a cult following.
Since it's come out, it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Even though people, I think on a whole, if they went back and played it, would kind of be like, oh yeah, this is fun. But that's a skewed perspective on people that are trading in a game that they don't want anymore.
Right. I definitely know a lot of people that haven't played it.
For sure.
You haven't played it. Our executive producer's brother didn't really get into it, and it's just that. That sounds absolutely crazy to me. Yeah, Art didn't really get into it, and that sounds crazy to me. I thought the game was incredible. I beat the living shit out of it when it came out, and then I beat it again later down, kind of towards the end of the Xbox 360's life cycle. I was like, "Fuck, I'm playing this thing again. This fucking thing's a goddamn masterpiece." I mean, that thing, that made me fucking just jizz my pants day after day. And then
attacking my own comment, it got amazing ratings. I mean,
oh, dude, yeah. I mean, we're talking almost across the board, at least a 9. Yeah, I mean, that thing.
I'm gonna get ripped apart in the comments, and that's okay. But that was just my experience.
You didn't say you didn't like it. You just said that you didn't.
Right. No, it sucks. It's the worst game ever made.
And it has what I would say also some of the most well-received, critically acclaimed DLC that's ever come out for a video game with the Undead Nightmare. That was still also in a time where DLC was still sort of newer and fresher. But what I really want to talk about from the original game is the online, which definitely, if you played the online, was sort of you could tell, especially, have you played GTA Online 5?
No, I haven't played GTA since 3, basically. The original 3.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, not I don't really play. I mean, I've played them, but I haven't I just couldn't get into them after the original 3.
I didn't. You know what? I'll get ripped apart for this, but I thought GTA 4 sucked. GTA 4, I was not a big fan, but GTA 5 is another masterpiece. But so the online was definitely, you could tell, like the stepping stones to what GTA Online would become. You know, it's sort of this like open world server with, I think, like up to 12 people that could come, and like you could all team up and go take out like an NPC hideout, or it was cool. You could like literally go like ride to like an area, and then if you guys all got there, like a team deathmatch would just start, and then like it's kind of just like this open world. And then obviously if you play GTA 5 online, it's kind of elaborated on that with more stuff like racing and still death matches. And you can just drive around the city and buy your own place and fucking dress yourself like like Blade Runner, or like somebody that like looks really sharp that should be on Wall Street. It's fucking awesome game.
Same company, so that makes sense.
Exactly. So let's bring that back down to Red Dead Redemption 2. Just got announced. Like, I think the story mode's gonna be great. Can you pop up an image in there? Does it have to be a video? Can you pop up so they have like the kind of like logo right now for Red Dead Redemption 2. We'll see if we can pop it up, but
I won't lie. The announcement, like that, like wallpaper, is pretty awesome looking.
Yeah, and there's something to be said. So I don't know if I immediately thought this. It is 7 people, so there's 7 silhouettes. One of them's clearly like an Apache. Obviously that really harkens back to Magnificent Seven. And that, which also harkens back to Seven Samurai, sort of the same tale of these like 7 people coming together again in Magnificent Seven. One's an Apache. I don't know if that's sort of on purpose. I don't know what that is, but that's definitely something I noticed. But I think the game is going to be really, really cool. But what the interesting part is for me is that also today Rockstar registered a trademark for Red Dead. Red Dead Redemption Online, or just Red Dead Online?
I don't know. Our producer Jonas will have to look it up.
I think it's either Red Dead Online or Red Dead Redemption Online. Point is, like, I'm really curious to see how they expand upon Red Dead Redemption's online, expand upon GTA 5's online, and incorporate it into like a Wild West world. Because like Battlefield, I'm really glad that Battlefield went back to like World War I. Red Dead Online. Okay, it is Red Dead Online. And actually, side note, Red Dead Revolver just released on PS4 if you want to check that out. That's the original. Some people forget that that's a thing. So technically, Red Dead Redemption is a sequel, and then Red Dead Redemption 2 is technically the third game. But I'm really I wonder what they're going to do to elaborate on the Wild West setting with their online. Again, I was talking about Battlefield. I'm really glad that we kind of went modern future with Call of Duty and Battlefield, and then they're like, all right, like, let's go back a little bit. Let's kind of go back to our roots. And there really hasn't been a Wild West game since Red Dead Redemption. I mean, Gun came out around the same time, or was it? I don't remember when, but I've been really itching for a cowboy game.
So let's shift into that Red Dead Online idea a little bit. What actually be really cool to see is Rockstar has this really good handle on the open world.
Yes.
And how and being able to control it and kind of manipulate it yourself. It would be awesome to sort of let you build like your own towns, so you have this giant open world and you get to build your own towns,
like settle and shit.
Yeah, you like settle a town, and people have jobs, and you fight over territory, and you fight over there's only room for one of us in this town, kind of stuff.
I adored Pilgrim.
Right, exactly. So that would be, man. I just thought of this, and I'm like super excited that I'm like, please do this. I will play this game if you can settle like make your own cities and stuff, and you can fight over, who's the sheriff, and people can be bandits, and people can be, the law, and you can have the real Western setting, kind of like you were saying.
I have a fully full-on evil robot chubby right now, even listening to you, because that is fucking awesome. That sounds so cool.
I think I have to write them a letter. We're gonna have to.
Hey guys, I know you guys got this, but just in case you don't, I got some suggestions for you. Yeah, no, I'm super thrilled for it. I mean, like, I think this, in my opinion, this rivals Final Fantasy 15 as far as just like something that people are going to be really looking forward to, something that's really going to be on people's radar. I mean, we're not going to fully know anything until Thursday. Again, that's when the trailer drops. So which is the 20th, October 20th. We
still probably won't know very much.
Right, well, exactly. But I'm sure we're going to see it, and it'll be just that tease enough to where, like, nipples will be hard.
Right.
So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to the online. I'm interested to see how they expand on kind of the awesomeness that they've made of GTA 5's online, which I think is really well done. I mean, it had a lot of hiccups when it first released, but, I mean, they really wrangled it in. pun very intended. With everything that they do. I mean, all the updates are free. Granted, the best way to enjoy these updates, you kind of need a lot of in-game currency, which isn't always the easiest thing to get. So sometimes you might need to drop a few of those real dollars to get some of those fake dollars. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Dollar bills.
Rockstar's. So they've had rocky launches and stuff like that, like you said, just with GTA Online and whatnot. But they're pretty good at mapping this stuff out.
Yeah, they're consistent.
GTA 5 came out when nothing, like, the only thing they had to compete against was Madden. I think GTA 5, maybe it was GTA 4, but whatever it was, they sold a ton because it was in a different world from Madden.
Yeah.
Nothing comes out in August but Madden and Tiger Woods.
Which
there's only a
have
couple
a lot
games.
of
They're
direct
like, you know what?
competition.
Why fight against Call of Duty and Battlefield and all Assassin's Creed? Yeah. How about we release in August?
But Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be fall, so I feel like it'll definitely be.
I think they know what's coming out fall 2017.
Probably
Red Dead Redemption 2,
Kingdom Hearts.
Maybe we don't. None of that is even close to
not
confirmed.
even come out next year.
Yeah, we there's no guarantee. Like maybe they might have a little competition, but compared to what's coming out this year,
yeah.
Right now, they're going to have very, very little competition, and a game that's got this big a following and that people love, and the first one is so good. Rockstar's a huge name.
Right.
I think they're planning things really well. They're really, really good at putting out games at the right time.
Oh,
I mean,
by the way,
GTA 4 was terrible, and tons of people still bought it.
The only he just pulled it up, our executive producer. The only thing that's actually slated is Shenmue 3, which we can get into that someday.
Sure. I don't know.
I don't even know how accurate.
I don't think that's an unconfirmed date. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like its release window. Yeah, I'm really excited. Look, it seems like you are as well. Rockstar's pretty solid. I'm not too worried about it. Do you think with this information, with the recent release of Red Dead Revolver on PS4, that we're going to see a Red Dead Redemption remaster anytime soon?
I believe it's already in the works. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to come out like in the spring.
Oh, really?
I think it's already in the works. I saw a couple comments today about the remaster.
Okay.
Maybe it's just a rumor. Could just be rumors, but I believe.
Yeah.
I'll let our producer, Stan.
Yeah, he's gonna check.
Look it up.
Do you have any final thoughts? You want to knock that down a little bit?
It's just we just gotta be patient. Even if they push it back, like pushbacks are good. So they don't. Rockstar's not known for that. So
yeah,
I think we're okay. But
yeah, them and Bethesda, they're pretty solid.
Yeah.
So yeah, sounds like we're both excited. Something to look forward to. And we'll see Thursday.
We will.
So we both have the opportunity to play. Did you play the beta? So the Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, we all got to play the beta.
Mm-hmm. Like 2 or 3 rounds.
Yeah, same with me. I think we're all in agreement. Agreement? That's not a fucking word. Fucking agreement. We're all in agreement that the single player looks pretty cool. Looks really fucking cool. I mean, there's the E3 trailer where you're fucking in space, flying your little space jet, and you're blowing shit up, and you fucking fly out the door and blow up the window, and shit gets crazy, and their airlock's going crazy, flying, you shoot people. Looks awesome. We got to play the multiplayer, and I have to say, in my opinion, same shit, different game. Didn't feel any different than any other Call of Duty, except now you can run on the walls, which I think you could even do in the last game.
You could do that in Black Ops 3.
Multiplayer felt no different to me. Same old shit.
Yeah, it's just not. It doesn't feel fluid to me, and maybe it's not supposed to, but compared to Battlefield in general, but we'll use Battlefield 1 because we're just talking the modern era. It just doesn't. Battlefield 1 flows. You have time to kind of like set up your position and coordinate an attack, and sometimes you spawn and die and spawn and die and spawn and die. But with Call of Duty, it's you spawn and you turn a corner and a guy one shots you, in the leg. And that's a whole different, part of this conversation is that so many, like I got one shot by snipers, like jumping, flying through the air snipers. Mm-hmm. Like, and I get that's like, so like in Halo, like that's what you do. You fly through the air. But like watching the replay, this guy literally, he didn't have to do anything. He just jumped in the air and shot me.
Yeah. Well, I think it's funny your comparison to Battlefield because Mike sent us a message in Discord like the day he played the beta, and he's like, "So played the Call of Duty beta." He's like, "I don't like it that much. I like Battlefield more." And I was like, "That makes sense." I mean, we're all Battlefield guys. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and fucking suck the viewer's dick and say that we like Call of Duty. Like, we don't really. Again, I think the single player sounds awesome. Like, it looks great. Like, I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of fun. Like, I might rent it. I don't have any plans to buy it. But yeah, I think fucking Battlefield is where it's at. And that shit comes out. If you pre-ordered it, I guess it's fucking now. But
yeah, you can play it
today.
Comes
out Friday. No, it's out now. If you
pre-ordered it. If you paid the extra $20, you can play it right now on all systems.
Is that what you did? You get the $80 version? I did not. That's okay. I'm not gonna actually be home by Friday, or I won't be home till Friday. Anyway, so $80 version to play fucking today, and otherwise it'll be Friday.
Full release is Friday.
Yeah, I mean,
I've watched other people play that, like on Twitch and whatnot. That game just looks so much better. Every time I see gameplay, like since the beta, I've never seen a beta to release like raise the bar that much.
Yeah,
like they were either holding back or they went crazy on adding stuff in that wasn't ready or something like that. Like it just looks better.
Yeah.
It not actually playing, but it feels better just being in someone else's view or someone else is controlling. The maps are gorgeous.
Dude, it's fucking gorgeous. Yeah, I mean the game is, and it's gonna be full of Battlefield moments, which I mean I just recorded I recorded another Battlefield CP story today. I have one if you haven't already seen of my knife story on our channel, which is fucking horrendous, but I suggest
it's hilarious. Don't miss it. It's hilarious.
Don't miss it. But yeah, like it's just Battlefield itself just lends itself so well to those Battlefield moments and those small stories because you're on a map that's so fucking big with 64 people. You got ground forces, air forces, boat forces, on foot forces, and I got horses. So it's like so many different things can be happening. Like, 10 people could be over here doing their own thing, which could be just a standoff, Mexican standoff, like, one side of the field and the other side of the field just shooting each other back and forth with rifles while there's like 3 or 4 guys up in the air going after each other with planes while there's 3 in the fucking tank, fearing it up, going through, and like, we have guys and it's almost like you're in the same game, but you're almost doing different things.
Right.
Depending on where you are, whether you're taking C, which is always take C. C is the most important fucking point to take.
Yes.
And
take Charlie.
Nothing compares to it, man.
Well, in Call of Duty, it's rams against each other until, one team gets enough kills or whatever. It's even in capture the flag, like it's still ram your heads against each other until somebody gets enough points. It just doesn't have a lot of variety, and maybe that's what it is, and that's okay. Like if that's what some people want to play,
absolutely, yeah,
that's great. It's not for us. To the point that our producer played the beta, and then promptly canceled his pre-order for Call of Duty because he wanted to get it for the single player. So,
no. Our producer had a Call of Duty pre-order, but he canceled it for Rigs, which is.
Well,
I don't want to talk about Rigs quite yet. I don't know if we're ready yet until you get maybe a chance to play it. But Rigs is a new VR game, which is it almost takes like Overwatch, Titanfall, and it's like the colors of Overwatch, the mechs of Titanfall, and the idea of Rocket League using a sport like a death sport, merging it all together and just making this fucking awesome experience, which I got to play.
Well, I think we've covered Call of Duty.
But he's still getting Battlefield, though.
We think it's garbage, and it's not for us. We're all going to get Battlefield. We're going to play it like crazy starting on Friday. And now I want to know more about Rigs.
So you want to?
I've never played the PSVR. I have no access to it. But
okay, so I think we had another topic we were gonna talk about, but I like this. We're feeling it. We're emotional. We're jiving off each other. We're mentally connecting our fucking brain dicks to each other. We're swapping them around. So Riggs came out for the VR as a launch game, and probably the one of two like true VR games. Like we're talking $59.99. The other one being Eve Valkyrie, which is also awesome, very good. But Riggs is it's mech-based combat thrown into like a sports atmosphere. So you get to pick your mech, each having kind of different stats, different abilities. You're a pilot, and there are teams. There's like a sports team. There's like however many teams, and you basically go head-to-head in 3 modes. One being more of like a team deathmatch, which seems to be the least fun of all of them, just because you have these like new opportunities and new ways to play sort of a traditional first-person shooter experience. And what's nice about the game is it's very welcoming to newcomers because you use the controller, so it's familiar, but you're still using your VR headset. So you use the left joystick for your legs, the right joystick sort of for like your shoulders, and then your head is how you're aiming your guns, and it's got 2 triggers controlling left and right arms. It's really, really cool. And so the other 2 modes, one's called Power Slam, and basically there are these power-ups that you gather on the ground, and what you do is the more you gather, you can go into overdrive mode, or if you kill other, well, you're not actually killing them, you're like knocking them out. If you knock out other players on the other team, you also can go into overdrive, and once you're in overdrive, there's like this sort of like big hoop in the middle of the whole, arena that you jump through to get a point.
Yeah.
And, if you're on the other team, like you start playing defense, you can knock them out of the way, you can try to blow them up.
Right. And that's the Rocket League-esque.
Yeah, so it's very Rocket League-esque. And then the third mode is like, what's it called? End zone. So that's more traditional. It's almost like football meets soccer. You pick up the ball, you can pass it to your other teammates, and then you try to run it through the end zone while everybody's trying to, knock you out with their arms, shoot with their guns. But it's very important. It also is very smooth and crisp looking, which is why I kind of compared it to Overwatch. It's very bright. The colors are very bright and vibrant. It's very, like I said, really crisp looking. It's awesome. It's really, really cool. VR, I can't stress to you guys enough how important VR is. Unfortunately, I don't have the $500 to drop on it right now, but I think you and I both want it, right?
Can all be money makers. Yeah, as soon as I have the opportunity, which could be 3 months, it could be 3 years, I don't know yet, but when I get it, as soon as I have the opportunity, I'm gonna snatch one up. Like VR is by far the future. Absolutely. The 3D crap, the 3D year and a half that we went through, man, I just wanted to bang my head against the wall because as soon as it happened, I was like, this is stupid. Nobody wants 3D video games.
Even like 4K.
Virtual reality video games.
4K isn't the future. This shit's the future, and HDR. And Sata 3. Sata 3, our old executive producer. So the most important thing that's ever happened to video games or the PlayStation. Check it out. PS4 Pro is going to have Sata 3. Anyways, Riggs is awesome. And while we're on the topic of VR, it looks like we have a few minutes left. What sort of experiences do you think are you looking forward to? Games that not even necessarily anything that's been announced, like anything that would lend itself, to VR. Obviously, we got Resident Evil 7, which is a great use of it.
So I think that the immediately go-to for most developers is very clear as horror games.
Yeah.
And the PSVR, I think, will take it to the next level with Resident Evil and things like that. That will be very interesting, and it will take Resident Evil. I don't want to say Resident Evil's been stale, but 5 and 6 were
Stale isn't the right word. I think off track is the best word for it.
And I think 7. I think you just said it. 7's gonna get it back on track. 7's gonna be a crazy experience to be in VR and to be able to do the things. I mean, could you imagine playing Resident Evil 1 in VR, like, when it first came out? Like, that game was...
Oh, that zombie, man. First time you see it, turning his head as he's munching on the body.
Yeah, like, it would be mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So,
horror,
besides that, besides the obvious horror stuff, sports games could be really cool, just like with with kind of what you're doing. If you're... soccer's kind of my game, so I'll use that as an example. If you build your FIFA guy and you can run around on the field and like look all around, football, basketball, you can give people experiences that they'll never get. Whether they could play soccer at a rec competitive level, or if they just can't run and jump or whatever.
Right.
You can put people in a moment that they couldn't otherwise experience at that level.
Absolutely.
So I think that is really cool.
Not just because I'm a fan, but my mind immediately goes to something Star Wars, right? I think the Kinect had the right idea when they tried to have like their Star Wars game. But I think VR is where it's suited. I mean, literally, you have your 2 move controllers. So I mean, that could be using just one as a single. Maybe you got 2 lightsabers. Maybe you hold it like this, and you can sort of do, I don't know, but I mean, that could be, or have one lightsaber and one on the other move controller, and the other one kind of can do like force powers, right? You pull the trigger while you do that, and it force pushes or force lightning or something like that. I mean, like that is like a fucking, that's my Jedi wet dream right there. Is playing as a fucking, it's playing as like Kit Fisto, in a Star Wars VR game or something like that. That would be awesome. I think that would be. He's got a video for fucking. It's not. Oh, there it is. Kinect Star Wars trailer playing. What a garbage game. But I like the right idea. Like I know what they were trying to do. Although then again, at the same time, they had that weird like Han Solo like dancing scenes. That was a fucking joke. I feel like the same people that were like, okay, like let's make Kinect Star Wars. It's a no fucking brainer. Everybody's like, yeah, for sure. Like, and we should definitely add a part where it's like Dance Dance Revolution with Han Solo. That's the same fucking guy that told Adam Sandler that it was a good idea to make Jack and Jill. Fuck that guy. That's bullshit. Don't make Jack and Jill, and don't make fucking Han Solo dance scenes in fucking Star Wars games. Like, if I was Harrison Ford, I'd be like, fuck you guys. Are you kidding me? I'm like the coolest fictional character of all time, and you're making me do like fucking dance like an asshole. Like, fuck you. Kinect Star Wars. But it would be really awesome in PSVR.
They definitely brought in the Just Dance team for that. No doubt about it.
You definitely need Just Dance in that as well. Yeah, those are some definitely, or like a we talked about this, producer and I, like a Wild West game. That'd be pretty cool because like if you have like your gun holstered.
That was my other idea for Red Dead Online, where you could like, or even Red Dead 2, where you could have like duels. But now that VR's out,
gross.
You can have like like quick draw duels like that. Along the same lines. That would be awesome. Like that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really want
wait.
VR to go.
I can't wait for Red Dead Redemption.
And obviously Riggs has mechs already, but imagine Mech Warrior in VR. Like that would be amazing.
Titanfall even. So. I mean, Titanfall could lend itself.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm really just excited to see where VR goes. I think the more attachments that it gets to the consoles, I really am because besides Eve and Riggs, like I'd say Resident Evil's like the next actual game that's coming out for it. I don't know too many other games that are like. I mean, there are games that
big
have
stuff.
Yeah, we Final Fantasy 15 is going to have a VR mode, but it doesn't look that great. Batman Arkham Knight just came out. It was cool. There's nothing to write home about. Tomb Raider's got a VR mode, but I want the next actual VR game.
For Arkham Knight, did you see there's a GIF out there where a guy's standing in a mirror like dancing as Batman.
I did the same fucking thing. It is pretty. I will say it's pretty fucking crazy though, because you got that thing on and like you're getting closer to the mirror and like it just like totally follows you and like it's pretty. It's kind of it's definitely an experience for sure. But I don't know. Do you have any final thoughts on VR?
Not on VR.
Do you have any final thoughts at all?
I do, actually. First, worth mentioning, I think, is I thought this was clever. That Dead Star is going supernova.
Your transitions, man, are fucking on point as usual.
Yeah, so Dead Star, it was you could get it free with PS Plus, I think in September or August, a few months ago. It's a fun game, but it wasn't big. So something for people to be aware of. Also, there are a lot of rumors that something about the NX is going to be announced soon, within the next week.
Oh shit, I didn't even hear that.
So apparently there is some Nintendo meeting going on, and the rumor is they are going to announce something about the NX. whether they're going to show it or whether they're just going to say this is its target date or whatever. So keep an eye out for NX news. If that drops this week, we will definitely talk about it next week.
I mean, that it's, what is it? It's supposed to be March maybe. I mean, that's fucking so soon for having a console that you haven't officially announced. So I think like the more time that goes without them saying anything, the kind of weirder it is.
Right.
Especially if it's going to be like sort of testing the limits of what we know as of a console. And I don't mean that in the sense of like power. I mean that in the sense of like what it is, right? So it's like all these fucking rumors are circulating that it's going to have cartridges, that's going to have, it's going to be mobile and a console that you plug in. It's going to have like detachable controller. It's just like it's some weird fucking just throw everything in the kitchen sink, throw it all together to make some console. So I'm really interested to see what that's going to be. I'm not that worried about it. I mean, the Wii U was kind of a bomb, and like they're still doing all right. Like, I mean, Nintendo's,
they print money.
Yeah, I mean they have experiences that you can't get on a PlayStation, that you can't get on Xbox, that you can't get on PC. And as long as they keep it that way, then they're always going to be able to sell consoles. They keep their Mario, they keep their Zelda, they keep their Smash, they keep their all those things going and strong and fresh. Then like they're going to be all right. Like, Breath of the Wild alone will sell a lot of NX consoles, and if that's the only game that ever comes out that's worth it, it doesn't matter because you sold the fucking console with Breath of the Wild, so you got your money. Like, you're good.
Yeah. And just because it's Zelda, even if it didn't look amazing, it looked great at E3, and I'm sure it will be a great game. Yeah. Just because Nintendo's been delivering pretty well on Zelda lately.
We're showing Pokemon Sun and Moon, but that's a good point. Like, if they
Pokemon.
If they release, like the next gen, open world, console version of a Pokemon game, we're talking your GTA
and all they have to do
or your Witcher, but you're a Pokemon trainer in this huge.
Yeah.
I mean that would sell. I mean, just look how many people play Pokemon Go. That would sell that game. And
all they have to do is come up with crappy VR and let you throw Pokeball in the real Pokemon world, and people will they'll buy the NX and then they'll pay another $400 for the VR, even if it's terrible, just because they get to be Pokemaster or whatever, Poke Trainer.
Well, we're running out of time. We're out of time, actually.
We're out of time. Time is short.
So we got some good stuff that we're hopefully going to be hearing next week. I'm sure next week we'll give you some more thoughts on Battlefield. Now, once we've played it.
Battlefield.
I'm actually really interested to see how the campaign's going to be. I mean, if we got to try the multiplayer. We didn't think about this ahead of time, but we will also be letting you know what our favorite something. We're gonna have a favorite something as our first topic every week. I don't know. Do you have something off the top of your head that you want to do next week? How about favorite MMO?
We can do favorite MMO.
Favorite MMO.
I'm good with that.
All right, so we're gonna start next week with a favorite MMO. So stay tuned. Check out what it's gonna be. Otherwise, I am Ryan Ruggender Marshall. With me,
I'm Mike Uonwe-Sapanich. Check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/CPMG. We've got our videos up there. If you like us, please support us. We appreciate it.
We also have our website, checkpointmg.com. It's got all of our links, including that Patreon, and a link to our sick-ass merch page. Boom, check that shit out. T-shirt, hoodie, charcoal, CPMG. So, yeah. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.